BXB. It's in the game!
Sadly, it's the nature of the video games industry and covering it that means basically we rarely have time to go back and look at games that have come out earlier in the year or last year, 2 years ago or 10 years ago, and maybe reevaluate the coverage we did if things have changed. Towards the end of last year, I did a review for Just Cause 3 on Xbox One, specifically the console version. At that time, it had a myriad of problems, technical problems, presentation problems, but mostly technical. The performance was terrible, the load times were appalling, and other than the fact that it had a great visual fidelity, I was really harsh on it. Now, this review no longer exists online. It was on BritXbox prior to the deletion of the content when the server went down. But recently, I decided that it was time to revisit Just Cause 3. I was able to pick up some of the new DLC in the summer sale that's happening right now on Xbox One, and you know what? That's given me a slightly new appreciation for this game. Now, I believe that reviews, when they're reviewed, is when they should stand. And the score is still valid, but in a way I'm lucky because that review I did, it's not out there anymore. It's not even on the internet. It might be cached somewhere, but it basically doesn't exist at this point. So I can almost come back to Just Cause 3 and give it another review. This isn't another review. There's no point in that. But at this point, Just Cause 3 has 2 of its 3 major DLC installments out and available. They are the Air and the Land pack. And what you can see me doing here is really enjoying the main edition of the Land Pack, which is the Mech. Now, I haven't captured footage of the Air Pack edition, but that as well really increased my enjoyment of the game, incredibly. But before I talk about those specific aspects, I want to point out that some of the technical problems that plagued Just Cause 3 on console have been improved. They aren't completely gone, but they are better. Load times are definitely improved. So while they are still a little long and it can be annoying, the fact that you still need to load into and out of every side activity, they're a lot quicker than they were at launch, which definitely makes the experience a more enjoyable one. Also, at launch, the game suffered from hard crashes to the desktop, severe frame rate issues, and the frame rate problems are still there. This game, when the destruction is popping off left and right, it does struggle on the Xbox. The horsepower isn't there compared to the high-end PCs this is kind of designed for. But I found the performance to be less glaring, and less annoying than they were. So that was an improvement definitely over the experience. But the content that's been added in these DLC packs, I think, are the biggest improvement on the game. The fact that you now have a wingsuit that has a kind of built-in rocket launcher and machine gun, and also a rocket pack, makes you, gives you this freedom to feel that and fly around at will, and it makes you feel like Superman. It's amazingly fun, and he really revels in the freedom and the destructibility that Just Cause is all about. It's not always the easiest to control, and it doesn't make the game massively easy, but the fact that it's added as part of this DLC, which you can then take on into the main game, found myself playing a lot, just so much fun. And then the mech. Vehicles in Just Cause can be a bit hard to handle and sometimes easily destructible, but being able to call a mech down from a supply drop and clear a town out or a military base with it is so much fun. It handles much better than any of the other vehicles I've experienced in Just Cause 3. It's very easy to move, it's a lot quicker than most of the military vehicles in the game, and I was just able to deal out vast amounts of damage with very little difficulty, and that's kind of what all this game is about. I would definitely recommend picking up Just Cause now in the sale and get the deluxe pack, which comes with the DLC. In addition to the improvements made technically, I think these extra bits and bobs make the game a lot of fun. Now, the final piece of DLC is yet to come out. That's the sea part of the expansion. I don't know what that will involve. I don't find myself doing a lot out at the sea, and the addition of maybe a sea vehicle might not be as sort of actively enjoyable as the additions of the mech and the pilotable wingsuit with the rocket pack attached to it. But hey, I'm excited to find out what they do. So revisiting Just Cause here, reevaluating a little bit. I'm not scoring this, but I'd say the experience is a better one than it was at launch. And maybe, you know, if you were put off a bit by some of the problems the console version had at the start, you know, and it's at a good price right now, though for not much longer, you know, give it a thought. Consider Just Cause 3. Like I said, it is a blast. Thanks very much. I'll be back soon with some more videos, but make sure you head over to bixbygames.co.uk for all of our reviews and content. I'm hoping to make this feature semi-regular when there's time between big releases. I can't say how often that will happen, but I'm going to give it a shot, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.
BXB. It's in the game.